Knowing what the adverbs are not only can change how you punctuate a sentence, but even how you fundamentally Welcome to Fuck Grammar, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to write better for school, work, and general self-confidence. Today, in episode 12, I'll be using the sentence, "They finger fucked, and later she arrived home satisfied," to introduce you to the adverbs. Up to now, everything we've been doing so far has been kind of like the sex chapter in your high school health textbook. Maybe you learned a couple new things. Wait, what? The vagina is just one part of the pussy? But really, come on. Adverbs take us to the next level. Adverbs get us off home plate and move us to first base. Adverbs do not go all the way, but they're definitely dry humping. Hands are getting sticky, jeans are getting wet. So one of the reasons that I've left adverbs, to this more dry humping phase of grammar instruction is that they're a little bit tricky. One of the reasons for that is that they can answer one of four questions: where, when, how, and why. And some of those words on that list are the same as the words on another list that you're probably familiar with, probably more familiar with, of what should be in a story. And that's who, what, when, where, why. Three of those words are the same, but the who is a person, so that's a noun, and what is also a noun. Like if I said she ate what is a direct object, that's a noun. So those can't be part of the adverb list. Again, the adverb list is where, when, how, and why. As an acronym, that would sound something like this. Whereas the story where, when, who, what, when, where, why would sound more like For most young people, that heavy petting, dry humping phase of their life is both beautiful and frustrating. On the one hand, you're not ready for sex yet. On the other hand, you're really enjoying that slippery slope towards loss of innocence. And adverbs are the same way. They're kind of like that first bra strap I ever managed to unsnap. At first it was really frustrating, but once I got it, it was the first step to enjoying a whole lot of new things. So another reason that adverbs are a little bit tricky is that unlike the adjectives, which only modify nouns, and pronouns if you want to be picky about it, the adverbs can modify three very different words. They can modify verbs, they can modify adjectives, and they can even modify other adverbs. They're usually just one word long. They're diagrammed under the word they're describing. And for this lesson, I think I'm going to just talk about adverbs that modify verbs, because that's already a good handful. So let's start with the adverbs that answer the question of how. If you're familiar with adverbs at all, you're familiar with the idea perhaps that adverbs end with ly. And this is true in some cases. For instance, they came how? Happily. That ends with ly. They came quickly, grumpily, eventually, handily. But not all adverbs end with ly. Not even adverbs that answer the question of how all end with ly. For instance, if I said they came together, together is an adverb here. They came alone. Alone in this case is an adverb. Be careful for now that your adverbs are one word long. We could easily imagine a sentence like they came with a shout. And you're not wrong. With a shout is definitely how they came, but you're moving too fast. Slow down, enjoy the moment, stay on first base, keep your hands above the belt for now. Again, adverbs can answer four questions: where, when, how, and why. How is maybe the most common one, but where is also an adverb. So she came outside, she came inside, she came here, or she came there, or she came anywhere, or sadly, nowhere. Remember, as you think maybe of your own examples, stick to just one word. Adverbs can also answer the question of when. These are the adverbs of time. So for instance, they are coming soon. They will come tomorrow. Or they came yesterday. Or they will come later. Or they are coming now. There's again, lots of these adverbs of time. So the adverbs of why can be a little bit tricky, so we're going to leave those aside for now. Essentially, they always require more than one word, so we're just going to leave those for a couple lessons down the road. But I promise you, there's other ways that adverbs want to fuck with you, which is kind of flattering. But you got to be careful. Take the word yesterday. It can be an adverb. I came yesterday. That's clearly an adverb of when I came. But in another sentence, yesterday was great. Yesterday here, the only thing it could possibly be is the subject of the sentence, which means it's a noun. So yesterday can be a noun or an adverb, depends on how you use it. Let's take another example. If you say, I went home, well, where did you go? Home. Home answers the question of where. So home in this case is an adverb. If you say though, I love my home, well, now the home gets loved. It's a direct object. Again, it's a noun. So you have to be careful because adverbs may encourage you to move a little bit faster than what you're comfortable with, a little faster than what you're ready for. And you have to be prepared to say, whoa, adverbs, slow down, hands above the belt. Or you may make some mistakes that you later regret or don't. Knowing what the adverbs are not only can change how you punctuate a sentence, but even how you fundamentally construct your sentence. You remember back at lesson 2 or 3, I talked about how everything on the subject cheek stays with the subject side and everything on the predicate cheek stays on the predicate side and you can't cross the crack? That's true. Fundamentally true, and the diagram proves that. We sort of saw that with the subordinate clauses, how when the diagram always has a subordinate clause on the bottom, but when we write the sentence, sometimes we move that subordinate clause in front of the independent clause, and we show how that's sort of against the natural order by putting a comma in the sentence. Same thing is true with the adverbs. Let me give you an example. I unclasped her bra awkwardly. No comma in the sentence. Awkwardly is our adverb describing how I unclasped that bra. No comma because there's nothing in the way of the subject predicate. But I can move awkwardly to the front of the sentence. Awkwardly, comma, I unclasped her bra. Why is that comma there? Well, now you can see I've put something in the way of that subject predicate. When we diagram it, awkwardly still gets diagrammed under the verb because it's an adverb. It doesn't matter where we move it in the sentence, it's always an adverb, but when we move it in front of the subject predicate, we're going to use a comma. There's a third place I can put that adverb. It's a little bit trickier. I awkwardly unclasped her bra. In this case, you have a choice, no commas or 2 commas. You could say, I awkwardly unclasped her bra, or I, comma, awkwardly, comma, unclasped her bra. By using the commas, you're sort of pausing the reader, slowing the reader down, focusing the reader's attention on that word, and it kind of serves to highlight, elevate, accentuate that word. If you really want the reader to feel that adverb, use commas. If you want the reader's eyes to sort of just skip on past, don't use the commas. Now, not all adverbs can move around the sentence wherever they want to. Words like yesterday can. Yesterday, comma, I came. Or I came yesterday, no comma. But that's not the case for all adverbs. Take I came downstairs. You can't say, if you want to sound normal, downstairs, comma, I came, unless you're Yoda or something. And I don't know what the rule is, why some adverbs can move and some adverbs can't. There's probably some linguistical guideline out there somewhere. But as a native English speaker, I know which words can move and which words can't. Hopefully you can too. And now you know why you punctuate them one way or the other. So let's get to our fuck sentence of the day. They finger fucked, and later she arrived home satisfied. So let's look at the basic construction of this sentence. First of all, we have 2 clauses. They finger fucked is clause 1, and later she arrived home satisfied is clause two. They're joined together with a coordinating conjunction, a cojunct, and every time we join clauses with a cojunct, we use a comma. There's a reason for our first comma. Second comma, later, comma, she arrived home satisfied. Well, let's look at how we diagram this sentence. This sentence has a subject predicate, she arrived. And those other three words are all adverbs. She arrived when? Later. She arrived where? Home. And she arrived how? Satisfied. One of those adverbs has jumped in front of the subject predicate, and so we have a comma. The other two are not in the way of the subject predicate, so we don't have any additional commas. Is it just me, or is that really cool? It's pretty cool, right? All right, that's it. Remember though, you get better at writing by practicing writing. And I've set up some practice exercises for you over on grammaraf.com. The one for this episode 12 is about a math class, a girlfriend, and a boner. So if you're interested in practicing some of these skills, and not just adverbs, but also subordinate clauses and phrases and joining words with cojunts, all this sort of stuff is all mixed into these exercises. So head over to grammaraf.com, click on YouTube videos. Next to episode 12, there'll be a little thing that says writing and diagram practice. You can write those sentences down, practice punctuating where you think the commas need to go or not, and then diagramming them. And then I have a little answer key there for each sentence. By doing that, you are only writing sentences that I know you know how to diagram, that I know you know how to punctuate. And you may make some mistakes, but that's what the answer key is for. When then you go to write your own sentences, you'll have a better understanding of what those words are that you're writing and how you may need to punctuate your own sentences. All right, next lesson will be adverbs describing adjectives and other adverbs. Hope you join me. See you then.